And they're not inexpensive to replace, but they get rebuilt. Let me think about that. I'm afraid I'm going to lie to you. From memory, they were $1,200 to redo the units.
Each?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that's what I heard.
And
How often is that, though?
Well,
I have to look at my log. Not often. Part of the thing that we liked a lot was, as I say, my overall operating costs went down literally by almost 40% by switching to gas. Between the cost of the actual utility and the maintenance on the thing, because the cal rods go out as well, and you got to keep those up all the time. We were, it looks pretty dirty now, but pretty finicky about maintenance on machines. I mean, let's be serious about where you make your money.
Yeah.
If the machine isn't working efficiently, you ain't making the money you're supposed to do. So,
Breaking down all the time.
yeah.
It's not making
Originally, my plan was to have a couple of them set of these panels, no panel for all the same thing. I got talked out of that by the other manufacturers. They turned these things around in 2 days.
Okay.
So,
Didn't pay to have something
yeah.
when you turn them on, though, does it take a while for them to get
Yes.
the temperature?
Yes. We were dealing, and that's why I put this little timer here.
Oops. Oh, I got something over there. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Ah,
So it'd go through its preheat
before anybody got
before the bodies ever showed up here.
gotcha. That's cool. That's a good idea. So you kind of retrofitted a few things all on your own
Yeah.
yourself. Wow. Must have a pretty good knack for doing that
The
sort of thing.
bones of the machine, we bought in 1971. You know, the physical metal structure you see was from 71. Through the years, we changed ovens. I changed some of the timers out to a different type of controllers. The little ATCs, you know, the little conventional timer things were getting to be a real pain in the butt to get rebuilt and get locate and so on. So we went to the digital timers.
How do you ship something like this? I mean, do you disassemble?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Again, we can show you the.
Wow, it's hard to fathom.
Well, mechanically, it really comes into 3 chunks.
Yep.
This chunk comes off the center core. Well, these frames come off really very easily. And the biggest, hardest piece is this one chunk, the forming station.
Yep.
Because, of course, that weighs a bunch. So they brace up the 2 platens. The riggers will do that.
Yep.
And then they just pluck the thing out. Myself and one guy put that thing in there.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that normally he moved printing presses. He worked for Mealy Goss, printing presses. So he was used to moving things the size of this
Really
building.
heavy, at least.
Wow.
Yeah, it pays to have good riggers.
But my gosh, this pit, it's a little bigger than I thought it would be.
This was larger than what, and I don't remember what Comet told us to dig the hole for. But I went bigger than that simply because, again, I'm going to have somebody getting in there to grease ways and things occasionally.
Oh, okay.
The depth is fixed, but the extra spacing around it was just for
Sure.
squeezing next to something.
Well, that makes sense, because I've heard figures like 3 by 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not close to that, but that's other equipment and different things. And how large did you say these were then? 70?
4 by 6.
4 by 6?
And that is
And you can
forming
make it
size.
smaller by those.
That's correct. So that
So you can form little plastic pieces.
Well,
Big plastic pieces, yeah, you could do pretty
Well,
good
yeah, it
size
isn't terribly
stuff on
efficient to make little ones.
No.
that. Well, not a whole sheet of them, though?
Oh, yes, yeah, sure, if you make multiple tools.
If you want to buy all those molds and
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
it's just,
So
You'd probably buy it all as one mold.
yeah. And with castings, and depending upon what you're dealing with, at the end here, with CNC and the cost of the pattern work and going to a foundry, as opposed to cutting these things out of chunks of aluminum, was getting to be pretty damn the same kind of costs for tooling.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was surprising.
wow.
Now, the flip of that is that, of course, with a casting, it's real easy to put the cooling chambers in.
Yeah.
You just cast the stainless steel tubing into the tools.
Oh, wow.
Did,
Well, it's going to
looks like quite the machine.
It is. I think I got pretty much most of it.
Oh, this locks the tray in place
Yeah,
while it's
so
working.
as this comes into position, the stab bar,
Yep.
which normally sits out here,
Sits in them,
will come into these pins, and that
Oh, okay.
locates
holds it in
the
place.
tool. So that
Oh,
everything-
I see.
Each of the frames always orientate the same way back to the mold.
I was thinking that. I was wondering how that was done, but sure.
One of the changes that I had in mind for this machine was to go to Mac and buy new clamp frame systems. So that, rip this off, open this up, so the clamp frame, the stab bars come in this way.
Yeah.
And it's easier to load the machine this way, put the molds in and out, than it was this way.
Oh, sure.
You know, that was
Yeah.
my next thing that was on my list of things to work on.
Yeah, 'cause you gotta get so long in there before it.
Yeah, I had fork extensions, and then you end up with two guys pushing the big molds to dump it in position.
But once they're there, they're locked in and you're good to go for,
Yeah, until
Whatever.
you change molds.
yeah.
Again, as a job shop, we were changing tools, well, as often as you needed to, you know,
Yeah.
just whatever happened. to-
Run that job and then you go on to the next one.
And that's the real reason that I had gone to this retrofitting with a single frame.
So the idea is you load it over there,
Correct.
throw it in underneath the heater for whatever length of time, bring it back over here, and this stuff pulls over to the mold and your vacuum comes up and the fans come on and whatever time that is, and it comes back out and you're good to go again, something
Right.
like that.
Well, while it's doing that, the guy's over here putting new sheets in the next carrier.
Something like that. But like a
Takes
cycle
one out,
time
puts it in.
from there all the way around to back to there.
Well, like 8 minutes, if you're dealing with 187.
That's what I was gonna say 10 minutes, something like that.
So you're making three of them in 8 minutes, or is it
We're gonna-
just for the one?
One,
To get around all the way around is 8 minutes,
Right.
so.
but realistically.
But as
every
you're doing
2.5
that, though, you've
minutes,
got-
You get another part.
Yeah, every 2.5 minutes, exactly. You're taking a part out every once you get started.
Correct.
So you're making a part every 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So this, because you're gonna divide that all up amongst the 3
You
stations?
got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Okay,
But from part A to get it all the way around the system.
first time,
Right.
First time around,
Yeah.
it's 8 minutes to get the first one out.
gotcha.
And then after that, it's every 2.5.
Then you're going to town.
And then it's on the
Wow. Or you probably could stop that. Thank you.
100.